This is our brand new home and we have less than 2 months to move in. My name's Orion, this is Jess and Benji, and I have a really bad habit of taking on too much at once. For the past year, I have been renovating our home, building a conservatory, converting a garage, and now I'm having a baby whilst trying to move house. So make sure you hit subscribe to follow along every single Wednesday and Sunday to see how we turn this into our family home. Today is the day that I've been waiting for the longest time, which is inspection of our new home. Because beneath the cracks and behind all of the walls is where all the hot and cold water piping and central heating system runs. And I have had just about enough of crawling around in our attic space looking for wires and piping. So a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Top Done, because they have sent me their TC View thermal camera. This just attaches to my phone and I should be able to see heat maps in the wall or out in the garden if it's dark, and I wonder if there's anyone out there creeping on my house. And I believe it will even allow me to see the cables that run behind the wall. So let's get this thing opened and find out. I am actually super excited to get this thing opened to see how small. Oh, it comes in a very nice case. Always happy to have one of these hard cases. So we open this up. It should be nice and simple, plug and play. So we have in here, we've got ourselves some conversion cables in case someone's got like the old iPhone or like me who's got a new iPhone. Very handy. So from Lightning to USB-C or just a USB-C extension cable as well. Very, very good. A nice cloth to keep it clean. And in here is the actual device itself. It feels really, really well made, to be fair. Got a camera on the front there. And we just slot this into the back of the phone and we should be good to go. Before I actually try it out, I should probably read the instructions, which aren't actually that big. From my understanding, because it is a plug and play thing on your phone, you need to download the app. So I'm going to scan the QR code, get the app, and then we'll be cooking. Okay, so using the adapter on Jess's phone, I have now got it all wired in on the app. And if I look up there, you can actually see the heat map coming off that radiator and where the piping goes. How cool does that look? And my tripod, you can see where I've had my hand on it recently. It's kind of like left like a thumbprint or like a handprint where I've been touching it. That's 9 degrees, 16 degrees. This is well cool. It can even sense my heat in the reflection of the window. How? That is bizarre. Okay, so this might be a bit odd, but we're gonna see the thermal camera on the baby to see if we can see. Look, so you can see it's like really warm there. I don't think you'll be able to see too much. I need to be careful where I point this camera. I will be honest, that is probably one of the weirdest things that I've ever done. But I do like how I can literally point and shoot it and you can see exactly how like hot or cold something is. So like right now, my face is 30 degrees, but the corner of the room is only 4. I am going to have so much fun wandering around with this and just pointing it at random spots to see what is hot and what is not. However, I would like to follow the piping to see where that goes. I don't know if I can see through walls of it, but we'll give it a go. I have very quickly just swapped over phones to demonstrate how easy it is just to plug it in the bottom and it just works off the back of my phone. Obviously, if I want to see it this way, then I can do. But as it turns out, if I follow this pipe into the ceiling, I actually lose the heat map. So no matter where I look in the ceiling, I cannot see the pipes through the wall. Same thing actually applies for where the wires used to be chased. So you can't actually see. You can see where we've patched up in the wall because it's got like fresh plaster in it, but you can't actually see behind the wall. I am actually quite interested to see how far it detects, because as you can see over there, the fire is currently going. So if I hold this up, look at that. Mate, that's 176 degrees, 180 degrees. Oh my God. You do not want to touch this burn bin. If I actually hit record here, it'll actually record the screen for me and I'll overlay it on camera here. But as you can see in there, that is incredibly hot. 220 at like the hottest point in there. It's quite interesting to see where the logs that are currently burning inside the burn bin, but that is very cool. I am not 100% positive on how far it goes. I think it's 5 meters, but if I point it over at my car, yeah, it can't really see that far. One thing that is quite handy about it all being in the app is that I can just change the colors if I want to. So if I want to go to like black and white, very easy to swap. You can even see me there in a reflection. It is bizarre how it senses that. But yeah, oh my dude, this is honestly so cool. But yeah, sorry, as I always say, I get overwhelmed with how cool something is. If you have struggled with like seeing particular color heats or heat maps with the colors that are available there, you can actually create your own like mix of what colors you want. So you can there completely gray and just red for hotspots. Really neat. Another thing that's actually nice about this app is if I'm struggling to see, I can actually lay over the camera as long as I enable it. So now I can see what my camera sees, but I've also got the thermal imaging in the background. I can even have dual light, or I can have transparency, and there you go. See, it's a bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Less transparent. Could be wrong with that, but can make it go away and make it come on screen if I really want to. It does have a zoom built into it as well. So if I'm really wanting to hone in on the temperature of something, I can just zoom in and get some bigger numbers, so it's a little bit easier to read. Quite interestingly, I was actually walking around just seeing what I can see through the walls, just to see if I can see any cables, which you can see where I've done like my chasing, but I can't see cables through the wall, unfortunately, with the settings that I have got currently set up on this. I was looking at this wall, I was like, why is there a big heat patch on this wall? And then I realized my immersion heater is actually right behind there. So you can see the amount of heat that is given off in the cupboard. Holy moly. Now, obviously I have focused on hotspots and wandering around and seeing what parts of my house are producing heat. But very importantly, and something that will be very useful for this, is actually finding out where it escapes and the cold spots of the house, so I can fix those up to keep the house nice and warm. So if I hold it up to this window, you can actually currently see that I am 8 degrees in the reflection there, but the window itself is giving off about 6 degrees. However, if I wander down the corridor to where we have currently got a broken window, you can see that this one's actually smashed through and this one's still intact, but it's a single glazed window. And if we kind of put a glazing over the top of it, but if I point the camera at it here, you can see that the cold is getting down to 1.4. So you can see that this window is significantly colder than the double glazing that we've got installed around the rest of the house. So despite that it's being patched up the way it is kind of holding heat relatively well, but we are definitely losing heat through this window. Jess has actually come up with a really fun idea. I'm really intrigued. Obviously, we did test how far it can see. I'm going to run out into the field and see if Jess could spot me using the thermal camera. It is, however, miserable and very cold outside, so I'll put my jacket on and go hide. Okay, as you can see, it is pitch black outside. There shouldn't be any heat out there whatsoever. And if we switch over to the thermal camera, there you can see Jess. So if she starts walking away, we'll see how far it can see her before she disappears off the camera. Hopefully she doesn't fall in a hole. Yeah, you can actually see the heat dropping. I assume it's up because it can't sense so much. But in the middle of the field, I can just about make her out. It's a little bit easier on the phone itself. Obviously the camera's not doing it too great justice because of the exposure. I'll lower the exposure a little bit, maybe you can see it. Right, stop. Yeah, so I can see it there. It is detecting a hotspot. So even though I can't necessarily see her outline perfectly, the hotspot there, the red marker, identifies that she's there. So if I move it away, can't see anything. If I scan the camera, hotspot spots her straight away. So that is pretty cool. I'm going to end up sitting on my sofa filming out the window to see if I can spot any wildlife out there, because it will definitely pick up like a rabbit or something wandering past the house. Later on in the year, we'll actually see some sheep out there. And it'd be interesting to see how many sheep it spots. But I think for now, we'll keep it to conventional use and detecting where heat is escaping or where the pipes are running. That being said, it is going to be very useful, especially with the baby on the way. I could just point the camera at the baby and see if she's under the weather or if she's got a temperature and stuff like that, because it is genuinely very accurate. The last thing I'm going to do is pop my head in through the attic and have a look with the thermal camera up there. Now, I know it is going to be very cold up there, so hopefully we should be able to see the pipes nice and clear. Okay, well, you're not going to be able to see anything up here with the camera phone itself, but if I hold this up, look at that, you can actually see exactly where the heat is running. Now, I am right next to some piping here, but it is insulated, so you can kind of see the heat is being held underneath the insulation. And right there, you can actually see the piping that runs for the central heating, which will run all the way down the attic, as you can see, all the way down there. I don't know why I zoomed on the wrong phone. When I've got a little bit more time, I will go up there and investigate with the thermal camera and ensure all the insulation is properly laid down so no heat is escaping or the cold coming down as well. Something along those lines. I will go up there and I'll fix it basically. But that is honestly a great piece of kit. If you want to get yours, then make sure you check the link in the description below. And a big shout out to Top Don for sponsoring this video. For your incredibly average DIYer, it's going to come in a lot of use. And I'm sure for people who are a bit more technically advanced than I am, will find even more uses for it. So yeah, pinned comment, description, get yours. But with our new toy safely away in the tool bag, it is time for me to wrap up today's video, because today was a bit of an inspection day, as we have got plans to be doing the bathroom and working on pipes soon. So that tool is going to come in very handy, and I'm sure you'll see it in some future vlogs as I probably go back up to the attic again to see which pipes are working and which ones aren't. Because one thing I did identify is the radiator in the corridor isn't actually working, and I thought something wrong with the radiator. However, it's not. It's the pipe that goes up to the attic, so I'm gonna have to have a look at that, and then obviously going through, doing a lot of plumbing. There is probably going to be a plumbing vlog and bathroom vlog coming up soon, but I've just been focused on the other rooms. So stay tuned for that. If you have enjoyed this video, guys, please do leave it a thumbs up rating. I'd appreciate that. If you are new to my channel, hit subscribe for all things DIY adventures. I mean, by the time you're watching this, the baby might even be here, which is just bonkers to think about. But yeah, thanks again. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace, much love. Bye-bye.